Hi everyone, I'm Diana Graber. I'm the founder of Civics, and I'm going to show you level 1 of our 3-level program on digital literacy. This level is about digital citizenship. It's followed by level 2, which is about information literacy, and finally level 3, which is media literacy for positive participation. So this is the foundational year of our program. It's really important. It teaches kids about the safe and responsible use of digital tools. What you see here is the landing page. When a school or even a homeschool family subscribes to Civics, you get a proprietary link. That link takes you to a place where you open your own subscription or your own account. And then you get this. This is the curriculum overview page. It's all the assets you need to easily teach Civics. I'm going to walk you through them. First, you'll see the introductory materials. The very first thing is a getting started guide, very easy to read online. You can open it up full screen like this. But it basically tells you what Civics is about and how to use this portal and access the information I'm going to tell you and show you now, so you may not even need to read it. The next thing you'll see is the teaching at home guide. And these are for our families that teach it in a homeschool setting to 1 or 2 students. It tells you how to easily adapt these lessons for that kind of experience. And then I really love this. This is the explainer, the send home letter that goes to parents and guardians that tells them what the students will be learning in the classroom, what all the lessons are about, and how they are delivered. And then finally, the syllabus is the last piece that you might want to look at. We also include student assessments, pre and post assessments, so you can test your students and see how much they learn during a year of Civics. And then what you'll see here on the left are the actual units. The way Civics is delivered, it's broken into units on topics. Within each unit, there are between 3 to 5 lessons. I'm going to start by showing you Unit 1. Every unit begins with a teacher guide. I promise you these are short. They're never more than a page long. Again, you can read it here in the portal or download a PDF. But it basically tells you what the lessons are that are coming up. The next piece is a very important piece. It's the home activities. So every time you teach a lesson, you can go to this little thing and write in the date that you teach the lesson, and then send this home with the students, either online with a fillable form, or you can download and use a printable form. But basically, they have activities that parent and child can do together that underscores what you're teaching in the classroom. In addition to that, we have a ton of our own videos, which you'll see in a moment within Civics. We also put these online so that parent and child can watch them at home together. That's another great way for them to discuss these topics. All right, so I'm going to show you the very first lesson. It's called De-tech-tive work. And this is basically what every lesson page looks like. You'll see the PDF here in the middle of the screen. You can read it online, either small like that or open it wide, which I'm going to do right now to show you. But basically, it's got your little introduction. All of our lessons are aligned to key standards. In this case, it's the ISTE tech standards, the CASEL competencies, which are the SEL social emotional literacy standards, and then finally the Common Core ELA literacy standards. So next you have your learning objectives, and then basically you have a script on how to deliver this lesson in the classroom. It tells you how to introduce it. It walks you through the different points of the lesson, and then finally at the end, it tells you how to administer the activity. We make this so easy for you by also including Google Slides for every single lesson that you teach. I'll show you the slides for this lesson. I like to say that these basically teach themselves. It makes Civics very easy to deliver. So here you have a question. Most Civics lessons begin with a discussion question. In this case, when you think about technology, what's the first thing that comes to mind? I've taught this lesson so many times, and kids will always say things like, oh, my iPhone, or my smartwatch, or my Xbox. I mean, they rarely bring up technology older than 20 or 30 years, but as we all know, technology's been around a long time. Here's one of the videos that's embedded within this lesson.
When you think of technology, what comes to mind? Is it this? Or this? Well, you're not wrong. However, technology actually includes a lot more than just today's awesome devices. In simple terms, Technology is the application of scientific knowledge that helps humans in their everyday lives. So, while technology might make you think of smartphones, computers, and gaming devices, it actually includes a much.
All right, so that gives you an idea of our little videos. And then it goes on with more questions that you can pose to the students in order to have a class discussion. And then it talks about different technologies, bringing us to some technologies today. We know that every piece of technology connects and disconnects humans, and that basically leads you into the activity. So when you're showing the slides to the students, you'll see a slide like this, which is the activity slide that cues you to their activity that comes. And in this activity, I'm going to actually show you so you don't see that. Here we go. The students will be assigned a tool to investigate. Imagine what it was like when that tool was first invented. Think of 3 ways the tool connects people, 3 ways it disconnects people. And like a good detective, record or write down your findings. So you have these actually within the slides here. These are some technologies that your detectives are going to investigate. And then if we go back to the lesson page here, bear with me, you'll see here under your downloads, not only do you have the lesson plan, but you have these student packets. Again, you have them either fillable where you can have them online. You can give them to the students. I'm going to open this and show you so that they can fill them in online and do their work that way. Or you have a printable version where you can print them out, do it in the classroom. A lot of our schools don't even use those forms. They give the activity to the students and the students keep a lesson book and do all of their work in there. That's the way I do it because it's a book that they can look back at throughout the year. Finally, the other thing you'll see within the lesson portal are links to the videos. If you don't use the slides, you're sure welcome to show our student videos this way. Okay, so as we get into digital citizenship a little bit deeper, you'll see we get into some important lessons here, such as the 5 principles of citizenship. As you know, we are all citizens today, not only of our physical worlds, but of these vast online worlds of people we may never see or meet. And this lesson talks about how to be a citizen in that environment, why it's so important to be honest or to be responsible or to be respectful. And then it goes on with a couple more lessons regarding citizenship online. Then we talk about your digital reputation, so important today. As you know, we are all often judged or people make think about us before they even meet us by looking at what we've done online. So that's really important for students that are just starting to create a digital reputation to think about how that might impact their future prospects for a job or even for college. This is a really fun lesson with a great activity, by the way. Ethical thinking is another important unit. We have several lessons in here. We pose a lot of ethical scenarios for the students to work through. One of my favorite here is, well, I like email etiquette and also texting and video conferencing etiquette. That's all things that sometimes students don't learn. So in this case, for email etiquette, I'm just going to play a few seconds of our slides. As a slideshow. Again, really easy to use our slides in the classroom. Usually starts with some discussion questions. Have you ever been misunderstood via email or text? Have you been misinterpreted? Have you ever misinterpreted someone else's email or text? Have you ever shared a joke online that was misunderstood? And then another little activity. We talk about being misinterpreted, what that means. What are some norms of email communication? And then again, we have a video that's just those topics.
There are a lot of ways to communicate today. You can shoot off a quick text message to a friend, send an email to your teacher, or video chat with a family member. But like everything we do online, it's important to be thoughtful and respectful. Because unlike communication in real life, online messages can be screenshot, screen recorded, forwarded, and shared with others. One type of communication that requires us to be extra thoughtful and respectful is email. That's because email is considered to be a bit more formal.
Okay, so that gives you an idea of what that's about. And again, as you go through, you'll come to your activity slide. It will tell you what the activity is. We give them a little email practice sheet. That's again, a downloadable form. And then a little activity that's a lot of fun. This was actually recommended by one of our teachers. Send an email to your teacher, follow the norms. In the body of the email, tell your teacher a joke that will make them laugh. Maybe the best jokes will be shared during your next class. So kind of a fun little activity there. All right, so I'm going to take you back here to your curriculum. Again, as you move through cyber civics, you'll follow the check marks to see where you left off. The next unit is cyberbullying and digital drama, so important. And, we really start with some lessons about empathy. Behind every screen is a real person with real feelings. So we have a couple of really important lessons on that. And then we introduce the topic of cyberbullying, and we talk about how it's different and similar to something called digital drama, which happens a lot more often between children of this age. We talk about what it means to be an upstander, what to do if you ever see cruelty of any kind. And then finally, we wrap this unit up by talking about what if you're the target. We give them 3 strategies that they can do should they ever be the target of either online or offline bullying. And then the final unit is called Identity and Privacy. I love this one because, students in pre-adolescence, it's really a time when they start to figure out who they are and what they like. And a lot of that identity work today is being done online. So that's really important to talk to students about how they share their identity online, what to share, what's not safe to share, what they should keep back. So the lessons we have in here include a really important one on hate speech. If you're not familiar with that, it's actually more predominant online between young people today than cyberbullying. And it's basically communication that attacks an individual or group based upon identity characteristics they can't change, like, their race, their religion, things like that. So this is a very, very important lesson. And then a real fun one follows it. Myself, my selfie. I love this lesson. I'm going to open the slides for a moment. So, today we all share images of ourselves online, but sometimes we forget that an image says a lot about us, and where we share them and what they look like really lets people kind of draw their own conclusions about our character. So we take a look at some selfies here. And in this case, we look at self-portraits because these were essentially the original selfies. So students can take a deep look at these and think about what the artist was trying to tell us about themselves. And then finally, for this lesson in the activity, they have to imagine you have to post a profile photo on a social media site you just joined. But the problem is the camera has not been invented yet, so you have to draw it. So the students will draw their own selfies. And these are some selfies that I've collected over the years, which I just love because they do tell me a lot about each student. And then they talk about that. They talk about, gosh, what am I telling the world about the selfies that I post online? Okay, so then we wrap up our year with a final project, and this is digital citizenship in review. And basically what we've done here is we've collected all the most important topics and put them on little slips of paper that you can give to the students so they can review, make a poster, write an essay, whichever you prefer. So really important to take a look back because digital citizenship is really the foundation of digital literacy. As you move on from this level 1, you'll start looking at information literacy in level 2, and then media literacy in level 3, which is really using your critical thinking skills to analyze media that we see today. So both of those levels are so important. We hope that you'll move on and look at those demos. But in the meantime, thank you for taking a look at this. It's really fun to teach. I've taught this level so many times, and every time has been a kick. The students always take it in differently depending on the group of students you have. So enjoy, and if you have any questions, please reach out to us at support@cybercivics.com. Thanks so much.